What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new episode of TheLead Houston, where it's all Houston all the time. The Houston Texans is the topic today, as we got some breaking news around the NFL that affects our Houston Texans. It actually involves the former Houston Texan, former number one overall draft pick, Jadeveon Clowney from South Carolina. He got released today by the Carolina Panthers. Now, this report came from that of Jeremy Fowler, and immediately Texans Twitter has pounced on the topic, and I am here to pounce with them. Should the Jadeveon Clowney come back to the Houston Texans? Should we bring him home? Now, we had this exact conversation around 2 years ago in May when DeMeco Ryans was asked by Texans media members, what are your thoughts on bringing back Jadeveon Clowney? We had a quote here from Aaron Wilson that talked about that, and Aaron Wilson says, and I quote, this is coming from DeMeco Ryans' mouth, not Aaron Wilson. Let me rephrase that. I'll never throw anyone off the table. We'll look at all options. Now, the Houston Texans, that's never changed, right? They're always going to be looking at all the options. And if DeMeco Ryans is right there, he is right now. The Houston Texans are going to look at all of their options, and they are no strangers to adding more talent to their defensive room. We all know that they just added the return of Foley Fatukasi. If you missed that video, you can check it out right here in this link, and how Foley is going to be a big, impactful guy for this Texans defense, no matter how minor the role is. Jadeveon Clowney can do some similar things, and I'm being sold more and more on the belief that the Houston Texans should go after Jadeveon Clowney. Now, this is going to be a tough discussion because, let me preface this by saying, the Houston Texans defensive line room is loaded with talent and competition. Jadeveon Clowney can beef up the talent, but where does he ultimately fit in on the defensive line room? Now, we all know DeMeco Ryans loves playing that rotational roundabout of guys, but we take our attentions to the defensive ends. The Houston Texans this offseason signed Darrell Taylor and Casey Toohill. Darrell Taylor just had almost 10 sacks 2 years ago for the Seattle Seahawks, one of the highest pressure rates amongst the NFL guys as a backup this previous year with the Chicago Bears. You have him. You signed Casey Toohill, the free agent, like I mentioned. You also brought back Derek Barnett. Those are two out of those three guys, I believe, are your immediate backups, Darrell Taylor and Derek Barnett. You already have Daniel Hunter and Will Anderson. That's 5 guys right there. Then you got Solomon Byrd. That's 6, the draft pick from 2 years ago. Dylan Horton. That's number 7. And then don't forget the Houston Texans also have this guy named DeMeco Autry that Nick Caserio claimed the ass kicker. Okay. And we all saw what DeMeco Autry did as he got more comfortable as the season went along after his PED suspension early in the year last year. So those are 8 defensive ends right there. You can put 7, considering DeMeco Autry also fits in the other category of guys that I'm going to get into, the defensive tackles. I've already mentioned the roster for them, but I'll go ahead and re-mention it again. DeMeco Autry also is thrown in there because he can be a tweener. You got back Sheldon Rankins returning for you. You got Kurt Hinish, Tommy Togiai. You drafted Keontae Hamilton in the 7th round. You signed Tim Settle 2 years ago. Who else am I missing? Mario Edwards, by the way. So the Texans have about 15 guys in the defensive line room as of right now. And that's not counting anybody that they grabbed on undrafted free agents, one of them being Junior Tafena, the big defensive tackle from Utah. The Houston Texans got so much talent and competition on the defensive line room, and I'm just not quite sold if Jadeveon Clowney could come in here and make his way, but You know what?
Fuck it.
The Houston Texans should bring home Jadeveon Clowney. Just last year, he had 5.5 sacks for the Carolina Panthers. He had 9 tackles for losses. And then just 2 years ago, he had 9.5 sacks for the Baltimore Ravens. We all know what Clowney can do, and we all know that he is very good at his job as long as he's in a good role. And the Houston Texans with DeMeco Ryans, your head coach, can fix anybody. And Jadeveon Clowney don't need no fixing, but him and this defensive line group only bolsters this defense and continues to upgrade the defense more and more. Clowney brings not only the sacks, yes, he's not a big sack guy. We all know that. He's a big run defense guy. And we just mentioned Foley Fatukasi returning and bolstering the run defense. But whenever he was injured and he was hurt, the Texans' run defense was lacking a bit. Jadeveon Clowney could help put a Band-Aid over that run defense, and even more so with Foley Fatukasi being healthy. So JD Clowney to the Houston Texans should absolutely be an option, and he should be a thought of potentially returning to H-Town one more time. I would be ecstatic to bring back Clowney. Talent, competition, and he bolsters this room. You can line him up outside. You can line him up inside over the A-gap. He'd be perfect right there as well, too. We saw him utilized in that very same situation way back when he was with the Texans before in the 3-4 defense, and he was lined up as a 3-4 defensive end right over the guard, and he was killing offensive lines. He was doing his thing, him and Merciless, when J.J. Watt was out. Them two were doing their thing. The Houston Texans and the DeMeco Ryans should definitely be exploring this opportunity to bolster the defense. Who'd have thought the defense of last year can continue to improve? And now Jadeveon Clowney, who is a free agent, should be explored from the Houston Texans, and I would be ecstatic to see a signing. As always, guys, go Astros, go Rockets, go Texans. Y'all have a blessed day.